Alright, so today I want to handle my really big reticulated pythons. Essentially I want to go in and clean their enclosures. And let me tell you, if you're thinking about getting one of the giants like a reticulated python or an anaconda or a boa or maybe a Burmese python, something like that, you definitely need more than one person to handle that snake, especially when it starts getting larger. I handled Lucy for a long time until she got to the point where it was like, alright, if I handle this snake by myself one more time, I could potentially get in trouble because it's almost too much snake for me to handle. So the hard part about getting one of these snakes is not only do you have to worry about chasing the enclosure sizes, they grow really fast, but you also have to have someone else that can help you handle these snakes and move them from one enclosure to another. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to set up a couple cameras and I'm going to show you kind of the struggles we have. I think Lucy is probably about 80 pounds. She's a really big snake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get a weight on her. I actually have this balance that I can step on. It goes up to 400 pounds. I was thinking I could step on it and do a quick tear and then bring Lucy in and see what the weight is just of her with me stepping on the balance with her and me at the same time. Might be a little bit easier than trying to put her in a tote and trying to see how heavy she is that way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put her in this boa tub and I'm going to throw in like a 12-inch ruler and see if I can get an accurate measurement on how long she is. I've never really taken a length on Lucy. I'm thinking she's probably about 14 or 15 feet, but it'll be interesting to see how long she is. So let's check it out and play with some really big snakes. Alright, so here goes nothing. I have my snake hook here, and let's see if we can get Lucy out of this enclosure here. See what kind of a mood she's in. How you doing, girl? Maybe. You wanna come out, girl? She's being a little stubborn. Alright, girl. Let's see if I can get her out from her coiled up spot here. Come on, girl. Come on, you ready to come out? I don't know if I know what kind of a mood she's in here. Come on, there you go. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. Woo. She's a big girl. I think she's just waking up. Wow. Alright, girl. You ready to come out? Alright. You wanna... There, grab this back. Oh boy, here we go. I don't know if this is gonna work. Alright. Alright. Yeah, let's see. Alright, here we go. 86.5. Woo. Wow. She's not happy. Alright, girl. Oh, she's a beast. Can you get her off my leg? Yep. Start with the small part of the tail.
That's what I'm working on.
Wow. Woo. All right. Wow. She's a beast. All right, now I'm gonna try to measure. I'm gonna take my little handy stick here. And get my phone ready. She's so big. All right, we'll see how this goes. I don't know about this. I can almost not even get her. All right, I'm gonna stand over here. Woo! Wow, that is a big snake. All right, girl. All right, so this is her setup here. She lives in a 6-foot enclosure, and essentially what happened is I was breeding her with Sunny, the male, and the water spilled all in here. It got really soaked, and you can see it's a little bit soiled from her going to the bathroom, and then over there by the water, it's a little bit moldy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull all the substrate out, and I'm gonna pull my water dish out of the corner and clean and pretty much disinfect everything. I use a diluted F10 solution. So this glass is pretty cool. It just slides right off just like this. Really cool setup for this glass. And if you take the glass off, it makes life a lot easier. You just lift it up and slide it right out. Super easy. So for the substrate, essentially what I do is I just take this little scooper and I scoop right into this and pull it right out. Really easy. All right, so take a look at this water dish here for big retics and big snakes. It's right in the corner here. Holds 3 gallons. It's pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna fill this up first. I'm not gonna put 3 gallons in it because last time I put 3 gallons and one of my retics got in there and flooded the whole cage. So I'm probably gonna fill it right about halfway. All right, so now that everything's clean, I'm gonna add some coconut husk. I use this Pro Cocoa, and let's see if I can do it from this side. I know the heater's kind of in the way here a little bit, but this is essentially what I use for the substrate. Works really well, absorbs a lot of the odors and everything, picks up a lot of humidity, and it's really easy to spot clean. This stuff is really awesome. All right, so I have this enclosure all clean and ready to go. I just have to move the snake back in. I have new substrate, some fresh water. I cleaned out the water dish, scrubbed it out, and cleaned it with some dish soap. Everything is clean, ready to go. I cleaned the insides and the top and the glass and everything. Essentially what I have in here is a radiant heater up above, and there's a little temperature probe sticking out right there. I have some air holes in the back for ventilation. This was actually made by Brace Exotics. And then I have a little under the tank heat down here. I have a thermostat with 2 temperature gradients. I usually keep the bottom about 88. It's just a really small temperature mat down here. And then the top, I essentially adjust that depending on if the snake starts pushing or not. If the snake is really uncomfortable and starts pushing, trying to get out, it usually means, especially with the retic, that the overhead heat is too high. Especially if it's getting close to 80 degrees, usually it's a little too high. And then usually after they eat and I feed them, I crank it up a little bit because they like a little more heat. So this is ready to go. I just have to move the snake back over. All right, so I'm going to move Lucy back. Let's see how this goes. This should be quite interesting. Looks like she's ready to get out of here. She is a big girl. Woo. All right, girl. You are really super big. Oh. Oh. All right. Oh. Here we go. All right, can you get around me?
Yep.
All right. Got her? Yep. All right.
Wait, she's got her tail caught. Hang on, one second. I got her. Okay, go.
All right, Lucy. Here we go. All right, Lucy. Here we go. There we go. Woo! Look at how big she is. She is a monster. Wow. Oh. She just keeps going and going. Woo! That is a big snake. Oh. Wow. Whew. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here and see if I can get an accurate measurement on that reticulated python. I was actually gonna work with Sunny a little bit today, but I decided just one retic is enough for one day. I think I'm gonna give my assistant a break, maybe take a couple days off, and then come back and work on the other retic. It is a lot of work handling these really big snakes. So essentially what I did is I took that picture that I took with my phone, I sent it to my email and then copied it to my desktop, imported it in over here on my laptop, brought it into the serpwidgets.com website, the snake measure. And essentially what you do is this is the tiny little 12-inch ruler. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually zoom in on this, and I'm gonna use this 12-inch ruler as a reference. So if you actually scroll way down here, it's on ruler. So what you do is you click right here on the end of the ruler. If I could get it exactly on the end, and then come over here and click it exactly on the end over here. So that is about 12 inches. What I can actually do is that is actually 1 foot. We'll actually measure in feet because this girl is really long. We could actually measure in feet instead of inches. So then actually it comes over here on snake. And I was actually taking a look at this picture, and if you look really close on the tail actually swings around. I should have actually got a better picture, kind of tried to unravel her a bit, but you can see the tail goes all the way up, all the way to here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna take a little line all the way along the tail right here. And you can see it puts a green line right on it, and I'm just gonna trace it all the way around. We're just gonna get a rough measurement on what this girl actually is as far as the length. And it's pretty easy because she has this little divot right down the middle of her back. You can kind of go right down the middle of that little indentation there. And see if I can get around this corner here. She's gonna be really big. I've never actually measured her length, so this is gonna be really surprising as far as what she is gonna be as far as the total length on this girl. And I don't think dwarf reticulated pythons will get quite as big as a mainland retic. She's 50% Jampea dwarf. She is a white albino reticulated python. And as a matter of fact, the other one that I have is part super dwarf. It's 37.5% super dwarf, 50% Jampea dwarf. So that one is a little bit smaller. And let's see if I can stay in the middle of the line here, coming around the center of the snake here. And this is just kind of a rough estimate. I've never actually done this before, so it'll be interesting. We can actually do this again to, stretch her out a little bit and get a little more accurate of a measurement. But this should give us a ballpark idea of how long Lucy is. Really quite interesting. The software is pretty cool. And this software is free. You don't really have to install it. You just go to the website and open up your picture and put it right into the software. And here is the end. So can you guess how long Lucy is? She is a really long snake. Let's take a look at how long she is. She is 17 feet. All right, so it is time for the question of the day. And Piddly Diddles asks, How many times a year can you breed a ball python and get a clutch of eggs? And that is a very good question. As a matter of fact, there are some snakes where you can breed them multiple times a year and get multiple clutches of eggs. Unfortunately, with ball pythons, you can only get one clutch of eggs per year. And I would say in most cases, you're pretty lucky if you can actually get your female to breed every single year. The problem is usually once you start pairing them up, they'll go on a really long fast. And a lot of times they won't go back on food until after they lay eggs. Sometimes it's several months after they lay eggs, and you're really kind of struggling to get them to eat enough food before the beginning of the next breeding season. So I'd say on probably, 3/4 of my snakes, I would say I'm actually trying to breed them every year, and the other 25% is pretty much the females that are going off food for a long time or laying eggs really late in the season, and they don't have enough time to eat enough food to get back into the breeding cycle for the next year, and I have to give them the year off. So that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.